Explainer, played by Jet Li and Jackie Chan, who was Wong Fei-hung for real. Tracing the life of the martial arts legend for a man whose story has featured in 100 films, surprisingly little is known about Wong Fei-hung, the most famous exponent of the southern style of kung fu. He was born around 1847 in Guangdong Province, taught martial arts to the military, and was married 4 times. His last wife died in Hong Kong in 1982. Wong Fei-hung is the most famous of all the exponents of Southern-style Chinese martial arts, and his exploits have passed into legend. There have been around 100 films about him, 77 of which feature actor Quan Tak-hing, who became synonymous with Wong during the 1950s and 1960s. Radio plays, pulp novels, newspaper story serializations, and television series have been devoted to his life. At one point, no less than 7 newspapers were running serialized novels about Wong at the same time. The martial arts master became known to international audiences in the 1990s when he was played by Jet Li Lianji in Sui Hark's supremely successful Once Upon a Time in China film series. In spite of his status as a folk hero, very little is known about Wong and his life. Indeed, much of Wong's history has been colored by the fictional exploits attributed to him. As a line in American director John Ford's The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance goes, "When the legend becomes the fact, print the legend," and this has certainly occurred in Wong's case. Wong Fei-hung was much revered in his lifetime, but little is actually known about him, said Washi Shanren, who wrote novels about the martial artist in the 1940s and 1950s. Even the sole photograph purported to be of him turned out to be a picture of one of his sons. In-depth research by Yu Mo Wan, published in a 1981 essay, The Prodigious Cinema of Wong Fei-hung, did establish some basic facts about his life. Since then, other facts have come to light. Wong was born around 1847 in or near Foshan in China's Guangdong Province. His father, Wong Fei-hung, was one of the famed 10 Tigers of Canton, a collective name given to the best martial artists in Guangdong in the mid-19th century. The 10 Tigers were all said to trace their lineage back to the Buddhist fighters of the southern Shaolin Monastery. If such a place existed, it was said to have been in Fujian Province, southeast China, and was a counterpart to the original Shaolin Monastery in northern Henan Province. Wong Fei-hung is said to have studied under the legendary Luk Ah Choi, a former abbot of the southern Shaolin Monastery and an expert in northern-style flower kung fu and the southern Hung Ga style. Luk saw Fei-hung performing martial arts and acrobatics on the street as a child and offered to teach him. Wong Fei-hung himself later became one of the 10 Tigers, possibly when he was in his 20s, but he was not one of the original members, as is sometimes said. He was an expert in the Hung school of Shaolin martial arts, and an expert in the Iron Wire Fist, the Five Forms Fist, the Tiger Vanquishing Fist, and the Shadowless Kick. Yu Mo Wan, author Wong Fei-hung became known for his prowess in Hung Ga Kung Fu, and taught martial arts to the military. Notably, as his wages were low, he also worked as a physician, a herbalist and possibly an expert in bone setting, Dit Da, and founded the Po Kai Lam Apothecary in Guangdong. Wong Fei-hung inherited his father's medical skills as well his martial arts prowess, and would run a Po Kai Lam apothecary later in his life. Wong Fei-hung was taught kung fu, mainly Hung Ga style, by his father from around the age of 5, and would travel to different villages in Guangdong with him to perform kung fu in the streets and sell medicine to make a living. The tale of how Wong initially became famous during one of these sales expeditions with Fei-hung is narrated in an article by Hung Ga Grandmaster Frank Yi. When he was around 13 years old, Wong angered another martial artist, Hung Guan Dai, who was also giving a demonstration in the street, because his exhibition was drawing a bigger crowd. Hung Guan Dai challenged Fei-hung to a fight, but Fei-hung instructed his young son to take up the challenge instead. A pole fight ensued, and the young Wong quickly beat the challenger by using the 8-diagram pole technique, a long pole system that is a favorite of Hung Ga exponents. This match made Wong Fei-hung famous all over Guangdong. Wong also became well known for his skill at lion dancing, something demonstrated in the films about him. Wong Fei-hung, who was one of the province's best lion dancers, was known around Guangzhou as the King of the Lions, writes Yu Mo Wan. Wong went on to distill and formalize the Hung Ga system, which had been invented by Hong Ziguan, another Shaolin hero. He was an expert in the Hung school of Shaolin martial arts, and an expert in the iron wire fist, the five forms fist, the tiger vanquishing fist, and the shadowless kick, writes Yu. The shadowless kick is a side kick, popularized but probably not invented by Wong, in which a fighter kicks his opponent 3 times in succession while in the air. Wong was married 4 times, and had 4 known children, but there is only information about his 4th wife, Mok Kwai Lan. Mok, who married the aging Wong in 1915 when she was 23, was a renowned martial artist in her own right. She practiced Mok Ga, a Shaolin style that emphasizes close fighting techniques, and Wong incorporated some elements of that into Hung Ga after they met. Mok outlived Wong by many years, dying at the age of 90 in 1982. She moved to Hong Kong in 1936, where she ran an apothecary and a bone-setting operation, and taught Hung Ga. She had married Wong so late in his life that she could not provide much information about his personal history, researchers have said. The TVB television series Grace Under Fire was loosely based on her life. There is a famous, but possibly apocryphal, story about how the two met. In 1911, Wong was giving a kung fu demonstration when his shoe flew off and hit the watching Mok in the face. A furious Mok picked up the shoe, broke through the crowd, and slapped Wong in the face, saying that he should be more careful, because next time he might make a similar mistake with a weapon and injure a member of the audience. The two met again after Mok's uncle, who was also her guardian and martial arts instructor, sought out Wong to apologize for her behavior. Romance bloomed, and Mok and Wong married. Like his father, Wong also trained the army in martial arts. He worked as the martial arts instructor for the 5th Regiment of the Guangdong Army, and later the Guangzhou Civilian Militia. Towards the end of his life, he taught martial arts, and ran a Po Kai Lam apothecary in Guangzhou, and another in Foshan. According to Yi, Wong became impoverished when his house and apothecary burned down during anti-government riots in Guangzhou in 1924. Wong became ill and died in either 1924 or 1925 or perhaps even 1933. He is reputed not to have lost a single fight in his life. In this regular feature series on the best of Hong Kong martial arts cinema, we examine the legacy of classic films, re-evaluate the careers of its greatest stars, and revisit some of the lesser-known aspects of the beloved genre.